Hello and welcome to the Bad Carma podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Carmel.
And when we're not busy looking at episodes of Charmed and Squid Games and all these other wonderful series that we're going to be looking at, we like to just delve into weird and random parts of the internet, don't we?
And the murderous and treacherous parts of the internet.
Anything that makes your skin crawl. And for the subject of today's episode, we decided we were going to talk about urban legends.
Ooh, love the film.
So we've got a few urban legends that we've selected.
Yes, we do.
We haven't talked too much about the subject of the urban legends, so we're going to be learning about them from each other for the first time, hopefully. Unless we picked one that the other person knows inside and out.
No, I don't think we have. I haven't heard of yours before because I think we just wrote down which ones we were doing so that we didn't do the same, didn't we? So do you want me to start? Because I've got 4, you got 3.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, so my first one is called The Vanishing Hotel Room. Have you heard of it?
I haven't. I think I might have heard if there's a mention of floor 13, then I have. No? Okay. So this is new for me then. Go ahead.
So this is about 2 women that are travelling, a mother and a daughter.
Yeah.
The woman's mother is taken ill while they are travelling together in a foreign country, leaving her mother resting in a hotel bed. The daughter makes a trip across town to pick up a needed prescription. Upon returning, she finds that both her mother and the hotel room they're staying in have disappeared. The staff say they don't remember having seen either of her or her mother.
The mother's missing as well.
The mother's gone. There are different versions of this story.
Okay.
So another one says that the doctor had seen the mother. The daughter went with the doctor to get the medicine, and upon her return, the staff said that she checked in alone.
Is it dementia medicine by any chance?
The mother's sick, not the daughter.
I'm thinking, is it going to be like Shore Island? It turns out the daughter was the patient.
Well, to be fair, if one of the versions that the daughter checked in alone is true, she may have a mental health problem. So there are multiple variations of the vanishing hotel room story. Usually the story is set in Paris, France, during the Paris
Exposition.
I've
just Googled what that is.
Of 1889.
It's a series of world fairs held in Paris.
Yes.
Right.
Or that of 1900, where the most commonly a woman with her daughter have just travelled. Sometimes the women in the stories are unrelated, but are travelling companions of roughly the same age. Rarely, both are male. In some versions, the daughter gets sent to a mental hospital where she spends the rest of her days.
So I was right.
So in a version printed in the July 6th and July 13, 1929 issue of the New Yorker written by Alexandra Woolcott and included in his book While Rome Burns, that is published in 1934, it is revealed that the mother died of Black Plague at the hotel management, and the police have kept her death a secret to prevent mass panic and hysteria throughout the city, and so that visitors will not leave, thus ensuring and maintaining the hotel's large financial income.
So if you were in that position, right, let's say you and me went on holiday somewhere.
Yeah.
And we checked into a hotel together, and then I said to you, oh, Carmel, can you just pop out and get me a Dr. Pepper? And you did. You went out, went across the road to the shop or whatever, came back, and I'm not in the room.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, maybe he's popped out for a bit, and I don't come back. So you go down to the front desk and you say, where's my husband gone? And they say, what husband? You checked in alone. And all of the records and everything they've got say that you checked in alone. What would the cover-up story for that be when you get back home? Because even if everyone at the hotel is in on it, and it turns out I got the Black Plague and died, and they're lying to you, making you out to be crazy, surely when you get back home, the neighbours will be going, oh, how was your trip with your husband? Well, you'd know you're not crazy, because people would be going, well, I spoke with Mark last week. You seem fine.
Yeah, unless something actually happened to the woman's mother in another hotel or another part of the holiday, and her mental health state is trying to protect her from it.
Maybe. Sounds like a plot to a movie. I bet there is a movie made about it.
More than likely. What's your first one?
So, the urban legend I've chosen, it's quite funny actually. Yours is sort of further back in time. Mine's sort of at the dawn of the internet, I would say. Mine's called eBay Haunted Painting. I've got a couple of articles up here. I'm going to read this really old looking BBC article. It looks very much like I remember the internet being in sort of late 90s, early 2000s.
Showing your age there.
The page has been archived. So this is almost like a snapshot of exactly what it would have looked like back then. In fact, this one is July 2002. I'll describe the painting. It's called The Hands Resist Him by Bill Stonen. And it's a little boy with a really creepy looking doll standing in front of a...
Like the doll from Annabelle.
Yeah, standing in front of a glass door. And on the door, I don't know if you can see, it looks like there's hands either knocking or pressing.
That looks anime from here.
Against the glass.
Let me show it up.
I mean, just even without the backstory of it being haunted, it's quite a creepy looking painting. I thought that was originally a little girl with like blacked out eyes, but actually it's a doll. I don't know if the eyes are missing or if it's got black eyes, but if you look at the arm, it's got kind of those bendy arms that are put together.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
That does not look like human.
No, I thought it was at first, but then when I've done a bit of digging into it and they say it's a doll, it's like, oh yeah, of course. So I'll read the article. It says, over the past 2 years, so this is 2000 to 2002, the internet has been buzzing with rumors about a curious item labeled the eBay Haunted Painting. Here, Gavin Beavis takes a look at the phenomenon that got the that got the web world talking. I was trying to say World Wide Web in the wrong order. The case of the eBay Haunted Painting has now become part of internet folklore. And I mean, this is how old this is. It actually talks about what eBay is. Like, in case you're new to this, it says eBay is a popular shopping website where people could put their unwanted goods up for auction and sell them to the highest bidder.
Oh my God, really?
In February 2000, an anonymous seller started an auction for a haunted painting.
I've zoomed in on this painting and there's creepy hands in the background in the windows of this painting.
Yeah, but the ad included grim warnings about possible supernatural powers held by the image and told the story of how the painting had affected the seller's lives once they bought it a year previously. The advert also included a series of pictures of the picture changing form at night, caught on film by a webcam. So I've got 2 pictures here that show what it's supposed to turn into at
That's
night,
really creepy.
where it looks like the little girl is holding a gun, almost like she's pointing it at the little boy, which is strange. Within hours of the painting appearing on eBay, its story and link were being passed around the world via the internet. Reports began coming in of strange reactions upon viewing the pictures. These included people being violently ill or fainting, children screaming upon seeing the painting, and observers being gripped by an unseen entity. So that's just people seeing the picture on, I guess, eBay, not even the real thing. I did find, and it doesn't have it in the article, but I did find what looks like a copy paste of somebody selling the painting on eBay. A copy paste of the...
Do you know where the painting is now?
Not at the moment. There are a couple of other paintings I've found associated with it.
It's not in our house, thank God.
Yeah. By the way, it says the painting was originally painted in 1972, so it's taken a good 30 years for it to then...
Well, eBay wasn't around in 1972, so...
Yeah, but the description that was left on the eBay listing says, now that we've got this out the way, one question to you eBayers. We want our house to be blessed after this painting is gone. Does anyone know anyone who is qualified to do this? The size of the painting is 24 by 36 inches, so it's rather large. As I have had several questions, here are the answers. There was no odor left behind in the room. There were no voices or the smell of gunpowder, no footprints or strange fluids on the wall. To deter questions in this direction, there are no ghosts in this world, no supernatural powers. This is just a painting, and most of these things have an explanation. In this case, probably a fluke lighting effect. I encourage you to bid on the artwork and consider the last 2 photographs as pure entertainment, and please do not take them into consideration when bidding.
Did they manage to sell the painting then?
Well, they say they're basically saying there's no such thing as ghosts. Then, for some reason, they're also sharing, I guess, these 2 images.
Well, they said for your entertainment.
Yeah, but why would you share them if you know they're not real? or have anything to do with the photograph.
Well, I wonder if the seller is actually the seller.
The eBay listing itself sounds quite ominous. It sounds almost like they want you to buy it to get it off their hands, but they know you're not going to buy it if you say it's haunted. It's almost like they're telling you it's perfectly
Trying to persuade you to get you to buy it, to take it off the hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what this painting reminds me of?
What?
The Witches.
The Witches?
Yeah, the Roald Dahl film.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because in there's a painting that when the main boy's grandmother, when she was a kid, she knew a girl that disappeared. On the day the girl disappeared, a little girl appeared in a parent's painting.
Yeah.
And as the years went on, the woman got older. I think it was just one day randomly she just disappeared. So it's like she lived her life in this painting. Like she wouldn't be in the same place.
Yeah.
She'll be in different places. Have you not seen it?
No. Well,
How have you not seen The Witches? You're so deprived.
this whole painting, it reminds me of another painting called, I won't go into too much detail about this, so you might know it. It's called The Crying Boy, and it's about a painting that survives things like house fires. The house will burn down and the only thing left untouched will be this picture of this crying boy. And that's been sold and sold and sold. And
That's so sad.
it seems like each time it gets sold, the house burns.
That is a cute little boy in that painting.
Well, not the story is slightly less cute, but it reminds me, especially because they'd mentioned gunpowder and the smell of burning or whatever it was. I'm wondering, is the inspiration for this urban legend from the Crying Boy painting? I'll have to look and see.
Maybe. We'll have to do another
first. Which one came first? Yeah.
an actual episode on everything.
Yeah. Just because we don't know how this is haunted, there is a little bit tacked onto the end of the article that explains what these hauntings are supposed to be like.
Yeah.
It says they said that whilst they had experienced nothing strange themselves, so this is presumably the eBay seller, they had begun receiving emails from people who had viewed the painting over the internet. The buyer said experiences include an exorcist type of voice, along with a blast of hot air like standing in front of an oven door.
Mm.
A new Epson print-off that ate and mutilated page after page when the user tried to download images of the painting. And revealingly, the buyer revealed plans to sell reproduction prints of the pictures over the internet and eventually sell the painting on. So it looks like the painting is haunted more by hype than by the supernatural, but who knows? Take a look at the images and let us know if you experience anything out of the ordinary. So I could, obviously the article is so old now, it's been archived.
Yeah.
The links to view these pictures that I guess this aid turns into of my, you couldn't see through the BBC article, but I did manage to find pictures of them elsewhere. One last thing about this before we move on to your urban legend is the artist that originally painted them has done follow-up paintings to it as well. And some of them are really cool. So here, 1972, we've got the Hands Resisting, which is the original painting.
Yeah.
The next one he didn't paint until 2004, but it's the same characters and they've aged. So you've got the doll, the little doll girl that's now lost its hair and is falling apart, and the little boy is now an old man. There was then another.
I would not keep a doll that puts a gun up to me, I ain't gonna lie.
Well, it's not holding anything in the next painting, but
Oh, she got punished.
the hands are now coming through the door. What that means, I don't know.
Taken to hell.
There is another there. Oh, and they're stood in front of the same door as well. The next painting, they're not in front of the same door, but the man is now even older. In fact, he looks like he's walking with a walker or something. The little girl doll is now no longer a doll. She's a real girl.
Granddaughter?
Don't know. But interestingly, the best one, that one was painted in 2012. But the next one, The Hands That Invent Him, comes from 2017. And if you look at it, it's actually from the perspective of inside the door out.
But there's no hands there.
Well, there's tree branches. So I don't know if this is supposed to be saying that they were tree branches all along inside behind the door, or because you can see there's almost looks like the same little boy on the inside. This time he's got, looks like a paintbrush. I don't know if they're trying to say that his hands are the one inside reaching through. I don't know. In fact, there's a description here that says, this commission presents a prequel of sorts. We see the original image, but from the other side of the glass. We see the young artist who has been intensely busy, judging by the debris surrounding him. Stoneham, who's the artist, experienced personal joys and losses, and yet new discoveries during these years, the debris of the mysteries of his birth. This painting hangs at the Haunted Museum in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Wow. I want to go to a haunted museum. We've got so many.
We never get a chance to. They always seem to close down before we get the chance to go visit. There is one final one from 2021, and it looks like, I guess, the legs of the doll look like they're almost hanging or hung up in above the doorway, and there's now a skull in the doorway. So I think it's like trying to say the boy is now dead. So, I mean, altogether, you're looking at about 50 years between the first and last painting. So,
wow.
If it's all by the same artist, I guess it kind of tells the story of him growing up, getting old, and I guess eventually dying. So yeah, even if you take the haunted painting side of it away, still quite an interesting little series of paintings. I do notice as well that the second one he painted was in 2004, so he's clearly been kind of
holding out.
No, I think what's probably happened is he's heard about this legend about his painting, and he's thought, oh, you know what really freak people out.
Oh, yeah, because it got publicised in
2002, yeah, and then he's painted this one 2004. So he's waited almost 30 years.
Unless someone contacted him.
Maybe.
Because a lot of artists don't get famous until way after they've actually done the paintings.
It's like a lot of artists get the recognition after they're dead.
I'm trying to think of the names of the artists, but I keep on going Mozart, but that's music.
Picasso.
That's the one. That's freaky. Not gonna lie. I want to travel to Las Vegas to see the Haunted Museum though.
Oh, me too.
That sounds pretty cool. Okay. This one's gonna make you itch and okay, you ready? This one's called the Spider Bite or the Red Spot.
Okay.
This urban legend actually emerged in England during the 1970s.
I was gonna say, obviously this came from BBC. It seems like we're moving towards Britain now.
The legend goes, a young woman from northern location.
Scotland. Oh, in the UK?
But it says England, New York City. It's whatever the urban legends, whoever tells the story.
So it's got to be, yeah. It changes depending on who's telling the story, but it's always a cold place.
Yeah.
Right.
Who is on vacation abroad in a warm southern location, Mexico, etc. While sunbathing on the beach, she is bitten on the cheek by a spider. The bite swells into a large boil and she rushes home to seek medical treatment. She finds a doctor to lance the boil, causing hundreds of tiny spiders to emerge.
So
she is driven to insane by this shock.
I have heard this one, actually.
In other versions, a young girl is asleep while a spider crawls across her face and rests on her cheek for a few moments. The next morning, she asks her mother about the red spot on her cheek, and the mother responds, "But it's like a spider bite, it'll go away. Just don't scratch it." As time passes, the spot grows into a small boil. She confronts her mother again and complains that it is getting larger and it's sore. The mother replies, "This happens sometimes. It's coming to a head." So I'm guessing she thinks that it's like got pus and crap underneath, like a spot. More days pass and the girl complains that it hurts and is unsightly. Finally concerned that it might be infected, the mother agrees to take it to see a doctor. But he is not available until the next day. In order to soothe herself that evening, the girl takes a bath. As she soaks, the boil bursts and releases a swarm of baby spiders into water from the egg that the mother had laid.
Oh, God.
In telling the story, there are versions that are set in one's own country instead of being abroad. So we would say in England and they got bitten in the Canary Islands.
Oh.
Unusually, when the story is told to others, the location of the incident is quite specific.
You know, whenever I hear about urban legends where it's like spiders or something like that, or insects,
it terrifies me because I'm scared it might actually happen.
Well, it reminds me of, I don't know if do you remember hearing about the Beanie Baby spider eggs?
No.
So it was a few years ago, like
I love them Beanie Babies.
10 years ago, people were sharing on Facebook. 90s kids rejoiced. The spider eggs they used to fill Beanie Babies with are finally hatching. And it was...
Oh my God.
It was... I mean, this in itself is an urban legend where they're saying that there were spider eggs in all of the Beanie Babies. Some people were huge collectors of them, so they'd have a shit ton of these Beanie Babies. And the urban legend was that there were spider eggs in all of them.
If I still have mine, they'll all be burnt in the bin.
Well, it was quite spooky because obviously they're trying to say it's 20, 30 years that it takes for them to actually mature and then hatch.
It doesn't take that long.
No.
I've had some in my little box outside that I keep my cushions to the furniture, and they're gone within a couple of months. Don't actually know how long it takes. Maybe we should Google that. On average, spider eggs take between 1 and 4 weeks to hatch. However, some species may take several months or even years to hatch, especially in colder climates.
And they mature best in Beanie Babies.
No. If I had a Beanie Baby stone, which I don't, sadly, well, I don't think sadly anymore, but all mine disappeared.
Did they used to give them out with McDonald's?
McDonald's with the Happy Meals, yeah. That's where I collected mine from. And then I used to go in and buy them separately for £1.
Do you remember the Furbies as well? The really cheap Furbies, the ones that talk?
Yeah.
And
with the little beaks, yellow.
And you could connect to them.
Yeah.
The Happy Meal ones, they didn't have anything to pick up the voices of the other ones, so you had to press the...
They swore at each other. Did you not hear him?
No. I remember the Minion toys going, what the fuck?
Yeah, the Furbies and the Minions, they used to swear. I don't think McDonald's is very kid-friendly.
Back in my day, the Minions used to say the fuck word.
I was an adult when Minions came out,
so was I.
It's not back in my day. The oldest will say that. Back in my day.
Right, shall we...
Yeah, sorry.
So, the urban legend I'm going to be talking about now is called the Well to Hell. I specifically remember finding out about this back in like 2008 or 9.
Okay.
When I was underage.
Can I just say straight away with that title, Supernatural just comes into my head and I just think of Sam and Dean Winchester. I
always used to be on YouTube, Googling stuff that I probably shouldn't Google. And I found this through an old radio host called Art Bell. And he used to do radio broadcasts on really interesting, like paranormal stuff, conspiracy stuff.
Okay.
And he'd have people call in. It was really cool because it used to be on at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
So old people high, drunk, it's calling in.
Obviously on YouTube, you can watch it anytime. I used to be awake at 1, 2, 3 in the morning watching this anyway, so I probably experienced it.
So was he from England or was he from abroad? That's why it was so early in the morning.
This was it's an American.
Which is why it was so early in the morning.
Well, no, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning in America.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm saying is, at that time, America, I can imagine it being really cool 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, listening to these really freaky, UFO stories and that kind of thing.
You're on about we sit in hot tubs in the middle of the woods telling each other ghost stories. So,
well, I'll explain what the Well to Hell is. And again, I've got a couple of articles up here. And the Well to Hell is an urban legend that claims scientists were drilling in Siberia and went too far down and ended up punching a hole straight through to hell.
Okay.
Where the screams of the damned drifted up to them. I won't play the radio broadcast, but maybe we can put the sound that they picked up. And that's the cool thing. There is actually sound that they say they picked up. So essentially this, I guess, mining team went out. Some of the stories say it was a mining team. Others say it was a group of scientists that were literally just trying to measure like thermal plates or something like that. But either way, they drilled down. That says here 14.4 kilometers or about 9 miles deep. And then they put a microphone down and recorded what they could hear.
I think I've heard vaguely about this.
It's going to be hot as hell in there anyway, literally. But they're saying it was over 2,000 degrees in that hole where they've put the microphone.
Surely that would melt the microphone.
Well, this is where they're saying it was a special microphone that was thermally protected.
I don't think anything's thermally protected from that kind of heat. I'm not going to lie.
No, it says,
should we chuck you down and find out?
They lowered super sensitive microphones to the bottom of the well, and to their astonishment, they heard the sounds of thousands, perhaps millions, of suffering souls screaming.
No, they just went to the house next door.
Well, I'll listen to the sound now.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
Sounds like a fun fair.
It sounded to me, because you can definitely hear a man shouting. Can't make out what he's saying. And every now and then you hear a woman going, ah! screaming.
There is a lot of noise, but it sounds like it's a festival or
It sounds to me like a festival or gathering where something's gone wrong. And the police or someone are screaming at you, get out of the way, something's happened. The women are screaming, because that's what women do when something goes wrong.
But if it's on a fun fair, women scream anyway. So do men.
So obviously the scary thing about this would be if this is correct and we've recorded underneath the earth, inside the earth, and we've picked up the sounds of people screaming, that would insinuate that hell is a physical place that you can get to. Now,
I think Hades runs.
I don't know. I'm thinking more like Doom, the game,
No,
where you can go to hell and there's demons and stuff.
it's all about Disney Hercules and Hades.
The only thing I'll point out is the article that I've just read, that it says thousands, if not millions of people screaming. I don't think that sounds like millions
No, it doesn't.
or even thousands.
So,
That sounds like, if that. To me, the fact you can make out a singular woman screaming.
they could be closest to the microphone, but again, I still think that it's a fun fair.
It sounds like a bunch of people screaming in the street to me, and there's like a riot or something happening.
I don't believe it's true.
Well,
It doesn't sound scary to me. It sounds,
I'm having a look through now, because obviously this isn't something that just Art Bell shared. This is something that other people that work in the sort of conspiracy, urban legend realm spoke about too. A lot of religious people have used it as definitive proof of, yes, there is a hell. It is inside the earth. Repent your sins and everything. It says here, popular endings to the story have it that scientists, the symbols of atheism, ran screaming from the site in terror when confronted with such proof, or that since the discovery of hell, conversions to Christianity began occurring at an unprecedented rate. Why that would be Christianity in particular, I don't know, because there are other religions
that believe in hell, yeah.
I think the point is, what they're trying to say is Siberia is cold. So to drill down and for it to be so hot, I guess, depending on when this urban legend came out, maybe they weren't expecting that, although we all know the inside of the earth's hot anyway. It's not hell, but it's hot.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think...
There are other people as well that have listened to that sound, and there's a couple of other explanations for it. Some people have said that is a sound that was picked up by a microphone, but it's not screaming. It sounds like screaming, but it's not. It's tectonic plates moving within the earth, or it's the sound that lava makes when it's in a space within the earth. There's other people that have straight up said that audio is fake and it's been taken from somewhere else, and then this story about drilling into the earth has been made sort of around the audio. I'm pretty sure when I
kind of believe that, because I don't think they have a microphone that will survive that kind of heat.
I'm pretty sure I remember looking at it back in like 2008-9, because obviously when you're like 14, 15 years old and you come across this kind of thing, you're like, holy shit.
That's amazing. Is it true?
Yeah, I remember digging into it, and I'm pretty sure I found a video that showed the film that the audio had been pulled from. No, they've pulled the audio from an actual film where there's a riot or something.
That makes sense.
I think that's what I remember happening. Yeah.
May have to look into that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, whenever it comes to religious stuff, if you have to fake something to get people to believe, I think that's a pretty bad sign.
Yeah, strange.
It does say here, though, even so, the Weekly World News tabloid ran the story in 1992, this time setting it in Alaska and claiming 13 oil rig workers were killed when the devil came roaring up out of the ground. So there are some variations of the story. Some are more impressive than others. But
Hades is on the warpath to try and find Meg and Hercules. I just can't, after hearing the footage, I just can't believe that's true. I find it funny, not scary. Okay, my turn?
Yeah.
Right, so this one is called The Death Number 999-9999. So the number 999-9999 is associated with an urban legend in Thailand, often referred to as the cursed phone number or death number. According to the legend, if somebody calls this number after midnight and makes a wish, the wish will be granted, but the caller will die. The legend is believed to have been popularized by the 2002 Thai horror film 999999.
It's a very disagreeable German story.
I'm intrigued about the film. We need to watch the film.
Yeah.
So the film, the 2002 Thai movie 9999999, directly uses this legend as its central plot point, depicting a group of teenagers who make wishes using the number and subsequently face deadly consequences. So urban legend versus reality. While the number is linked to the film and the legend, it is not a real working number in Thailand or anywhere else. The legend is a fictional story that has gained traction and is often cited in discussions about creepy and haunted phone numbers.
From what you've just told me, I can 100% see school children telling each other about that.
No.
Because we used to do it on the way, not with that number, but there were haunted phone numbers that you supposedly could call for free because obviously you're kids and you don't have your own money.
0800.
And you would go to like payphone and you'd go in and you'd call something stupid like 9876543216666 and it would just go, number not recognized, or please insert money. But there would always be one kid that says, no, I did it yesterday and the devil picked up.
No, an old lady picked up.
My dead grandma answered and told me I would die in 7 days and stuff like that. And I can imagine it happening again because me and my mates used to do it too and we used to come up with some right shit. So
the lucky number in Thailand, ironically, is number 9. So the number 9 is considered lucky in the Thai culture. It's associated with the word KO. Kayo. Let's ask Google.
Is it because you said there was something about wish, didn't you?
Yes.
So is it 9 associated with good luck? Maybe they're saying it associated with wish. I know that in other cultures, certain numbers have certain significance. Like in Japan, 4 is like death. 4 means death. Because it sounds, when you pronounce it, the pronunciation for death in Japan is the same or similar pronunciation to the word for.
It's associated with the word cow, which means progress or moving forward. It is often found in lottery numbers and other lucky combinations. The legend likely plays on the contrast between the perceived luck associated with the number 9 and the deadly consequences of the phone number in the story. Not a lie, me and my mates never did anything like silly, like trying haunted phone numbers.
My urban legend next will kind of link to this as well, which is why I think it's pretty good that it's coming next. But do you think stuff like that maybe influenced things like The Ring, where you do something, you call a number and then it's like your fate is sealed now? There's no going back.
But you know what it actually reminds me of? The film Countdown.
Oh, yeah.
And then counts down your final days.
You know who did a really good YouTube video on like haunted phone numbers? Shrouded Hand.
Love Shrouded Hand.
We need to rewatch it, but there was one, I think it's called like Daisy's Drowning or something.
Oh, I think I vaguely
Dead or something.
remember that. Didn't he go to the phone box?
He went to test it.
Yeah.
Apparently you would call a number. I can't remember if you have to put money in or not, but you would put the money in or don't put the money in, call a number and the voice would be saying Daisy's drowning or Daisy's drowned or Daisy's dead or something like that. That, I guess, because I think Shrouded Hand's a bit older than, definitely older than me. I don't know if it's older than you.
Rude.
I guess that would be the equivalent of like the devil's number that we used to call, or like, oh, my dead aunt, or, you know, I've got the number for Satan or a witch or something.
Yeah, it's really weird though, because like we've not long watched the first episode of Charmed and Piper comes out of the phone box. We made a comment like, yeah, phone boxes aren't used for what they used to be used for. And none of them work, even if you do attempt to go inside them. But no, phone boxes are like, they're extinct creatures.
I suppose the modern day equivalent would be things like you getting a call from Momo and stuff like that. Yeah.
Momo.
Or, what was the other one? Carmen Winstead.
That's sad.
Hi, my name is Carmen Winstead. I'm 17 years old.
Issues.
Should I just like you?
Issues.
Except I'm dead.
Oh my God. Okay, moving on.
We're going to be staying in sort of the same East Asian realm of urban legends. I know you said yours was from Thailand. Mine's from Japan, and it's called the Red Room Curse. So I think this might be. Do you know what a red room is?
I'm not going to tell you what I know a red room is.
Right, that's me. No. So
It does not mean the same thing at all.
people of your background will think of a red room
My background? What do you mean by that?
a lot differently to people like me that spend a lot of time on the internet.
Take back the background thing. Listen, I read books. I like reading books, but I have never actually. I found out what a red room is from the film because I've never read the books. So
And I read Reddit articles, so I know exactly what a red room is. So the modern day,
it's kinky.
depends how you look at it, I suppose. The modern day equivalent of a red room, and I'll talk about this, and I've got it up on my screen, and it's I'd say early to mid 2000s pop-up ad. Looks quite freaky. That would freak me out if it popped up at like 1 a.m. on my computer while I'm watching funny cat videos or something, or freaky live leak accidents.
Yeah, because people in your background don't do the naughty stuff.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the modern day equivalent of a red room is basically a torture room. You can imagine it's probably a lot.
There is kind of a torture.
Well, it's a different kind of torture. It's the one that has no happy endings. And imagine all the horror stories you've heard about, paying some money to someone, you get a link to a live stream, you click it, and next thing you know, you're watching a guy getting his head cut off or something. That would be...
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah, that would be the modern equivalent of a red room. Now, this...
I don't like that. That's not kinky.
No. This was sort of I think the first case of the term red room being used, and luckily it's not about people getting tortured on live stream. Essentially, it is where you could be surfing the internet very late at night and you'll get this pop-up here.
Okay.
And just to describe it, it's Japanese black text on a red background. There's one I'm looking at.
Like a long piece of paper.
Yeah, the one I'm looking at looks like Windows XP. So that takes me back to sort of 12, 13, 14 years old. The text says, "Do you like?" That's all it says.
He wants to join the red room.
The story says it pops up first just saying, "Do you like?" And if you try to close it repeatedly, over time, the words will change to say, "Do you like the red room?" And at that point, you'll feel a presence behind you.
Already do.
Before you pass out.
Oh, lovely.
And whoever that person is that passes out dies. You're then found dead by...
In the red room? Your spirit goes to the red room now?
No. Well, we don't know. We don't know what happens after that point. But it says variations of the legend differ on what happens next. According to the most common one, the screen turns red, displaying a list of names of the red room's previous victims. The target will sense a mysterious presence behind them, after which they'll lose consciousness. They will later be found dead in their home with the walls of the room they are discovered in painted red with their blood. So that's why it's red room. A lesser known variation states that the target will instead have a crack appear somewhere on their body, which quickly grows in size, splitting them apart. So they die. So you literally get ripped another ass. Now, what's interesting about this I think that's a pretty cool urban legend anyway, and I think that could be there probably is a horror movie about that, but if there isn't already, they should. The Japanese horror movies are always super freaky, so I think if they make one about this, set it in the early 2000s.
There is. It's 1999 Japanese film, and it's the source of the Red Room curse legend.
Yeah. Now, there is something about this story that links into the real world as well. Have you ever heard of the Sasebo slashing?
No.
No. So... I'm going to try and be sensitive about this because obviously it involves real people. But it says on this Wikipedia article, the legend of the curse gained notoriety in 2004 due to the Sasebo slashing, the murder of a 12-year-old schoolgirl by an 11-year-old classmate referred to as Girl A in an elementary school in Sasebo. Girl A was reported to be a fan of the Red Room Curse animation. So there's an animation somewhere that kind of shows what's supposed to happen if you look at this, pop-up ad.
Okay.
And she had it bookmarked on her computer at the time of the murder.
Silly girl.
I don't know why this is kind of linked with that particular killing, because she didn't kill the girl because of the Red Room. It's kind of like when there's a school shooting and they ask the parents were there any signs of this, and they say, well, he really, really liked Call of Duty or something like that. And it's
I love the Yorkshire accent.
and then they kind of link something because they're trying to find sense in why somebody's done something. Can't see anything about Red Room. It's not like that Slender Man attempted killer where they tried to kill that girl in the name of Slender Man.
Yeah.
I think it's just something evil somebody's done and they happen to be a fan of something else, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty freaky. If there's a horror film about it, I will have a look for it because I need to watch it.
There's a Japanese version
That's the one.
and there is also a Canadian version.
Canadian's pretty cool too, but Japanese horror is some
They're good.
best horror. Yeah,
They are really good. I prefer the Japanese Grudge
yeah.
to the Americanized one.
Obviously, we'll have to watch it either dubbed or subtitled. I prefer subtitled, but yeah, we'll have to.
Is the Grudge Japanese?
The Grudge, yeah.
Yeah, we like our Japanese and Korean films, don't we?
Yeah.
We do. Okay, so last one. This one is The Babysitter and the Man Upstairs. So you must have heard about this one. This is like the well-known urban legend.
There's a line that I think has become a bit of a meme. I won't say it because you're obviously going to say it later, but there's a line that is a meme in a lot of films and books and all sorts. So go on.
Okay, so Babysitter and the Man Upstairs, also known as the Babysitter or the Sitter, is an urban legend that dates back to the 1960s about a teenage babysitter who receives a telephone call that turns out to be coming from inside the house. The basic storyline has been adapted a number of times in movies. The legend details a teenage girl who is watching television at night while babysitting. After the children have been put to bed, upstairs the phone rings. The unknown caller tells her to check the children. The girl dismisses the call, but anonymous. Caller dials back several times. The girl becomes increasingly frightened. Eventually, the babysitter calls the police, who inform her they will trace the next call. After the stranger calls again, the police return her call, advising her to leave immediately. She evacuates the home and the police meet her to explain that calls were coming from inside the house and the unidentified prowler was calling her after killing the children upstairs.
Savage.
There are other versions. So some variations of the story have one or more of these details. In more child-friendly versions, the caller turns out to be either one of the children or an older sibling who decided to scare the babysitter as a prank and they get told off by the police.
Right.
Babysitter is also killed in another version.
Right. So I don't think that the police reaction to that is necessarily realistic.
There's more. I have not from the kid.
I'll let you finish that.
The babysitter rescues the children and the prowler is arrested by police. While being taken away by the police, the prowler whispers or says out loud, "See you soon," to the babysitter.
So, okay.
In some versions, when the prowler calls the babysitter, he just makes scary noises like giggling or heavy breathing.
Who's looking at me?
What was that? That wasn't giggling or heavy breathing.
It freaked me the fuck out though.
That's just me on a normal day. Jesus. Also, in this version, when the operator says that the calls have been coming from the same house, the phone goes quiet, and when the operator asks if the babysitter was still there, all they get is the same scary noises, meaning the babysitter has already been killed.
Oh, that's quite freaky. Yeah, that's...
The children are with the babysitter while watching television. The prowler starts phoning them, saying that he'll be with them in a decreasing amount of time. Then after they get the news that the calls are coming from inside the house, they hear a door upstairs opening and then sound of footsteps heading towards their room. This version can be found in the first book of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book.
That is right. I like that ending. I like that version because
they're all together and they all get out.
Well, it's not just that. The idea of because to me that's almost
stairs and you can hear.
To me that's almost supernatural, and that is freakier to me. Like or alien somehow. Like there's a video I can't remember the name of the guy that made it, but it's called You Are on the Fastest Possible Route. And it's a video of a guy driving through like backcountry roads, kind of like in Carlisle.
Yeah.
And he's got the sat-nav on. And obviously sat-nav talks to you and says, you are approaching your destination.
Twat-nav, not sat-nav. But yeah, sure.
And he sees something freaky in the woods that starts chasing his car. So he's speeding off and he's following, I guess the sat-nav is taking him somewhere and he doesn't know where it's taking him. But it's saying, you know, you are 10 kilometers from your destination, turn left. And then it ends up saying, turn left in 5 meters, then turn off your headlights and stuff like that. It's really freaky. And then he turns it on and you hear something chasing him and you can hear it saying, your destination is 5 meters. Your destination is 4 meters. And it's getting closer and closer. The next footage you see, because it's dash cam footage, is the dash cam is broken and you just hear this voice go, you have arrived. Like,
oh God, no.
It's freaky.
No.
And it kind of reminds me, I guess killer. I know it's not a ghost, but it's a killer.
Yeah.
Saying, I'll be with you in 5 minutes. I'll be with you in 4 minutes, 3 minutes. That's freaky to me.
So years later, the babysitter is now an adult and has a family of her own. One evening, she and her husband go to have dinner out while a babysitter looks after the children. The evening is going well until a waiter approaches their table and says that there is a phone call for her. She then answers the phone and hears, did you check the children?
So is this like from the perspective of not the babysitter, but the parents that have gone out, do you think?
This is an ending that appears in some of the movie versions.
Yeah, so it's not from the perspective of the babysitter. It's from the...
No, it is. It's the babysitter years later. The person that was stalking her has come back.
Oh, right.
Waited for her to have children. And then when she's out, another babysitter, obviously, because she's out, is looking after the kids. And she gets a call at the restaurant saying, did you check on the children?
Oh, right. Oh.
The police informed one of the children they found the prowler under the kid's bed holding a weapon.
See, that makes it less scary. I think it would be freakier if they were never found.
Yeah. So the origin of the story, the legend dates as far back to the 1960s, with its exact original inspiration not entirely certain. However, the 1950s unsolved murder of a teenage babysitter, Jeanette Chrisman, is Columbia, Missouri.
Right.
Seems to have been an influence, at the very least, on later versions via media adaptations. Days before her 14th birthday, Jeanette took a babysitting job for a couple, during which she was sexually assaulted and killed by an unknown assailant. One suspect, the 27-year-old Robert Muller, was an acquaintance of Jeanette as well as the couple she was sitting for. Muller had employed Jeanette as a sitter and was playing cards with the couple on the night of the incident. He left early, claiming he needed to take care of a sick child at home. It was determined not to have gone home just then. Jeanette called the police with screams for help, but they did not learn her address. When the couple returned, the porch light was on and the front door unlocked, implying Jeanette had let her attacker in. The side window had been unnecessarily broken out, with a garden hoe stored inside the house.
You know, when you take the real life inspirations away from it, that is one of the classic sort of scary stories to tell at night, or a classic urban legend. It's on the same kind of spectrum as Humans Can Lick too. And the man in the back of the car. Yeah. The, trying to warn someone. Getting chased down on the motor.
Always check your back seat.
Yeah.
Then there's the flashing lights. Don't flash people, because if you flash a beam lights at them so many times, they'll chase you. It's basically like there is a lot of urban legends, and obviously we know a lot of them because of the film Urban Legend. We love that film. I love that film. I introduced you to that film. That story also reminds me of, can you remember Teenage Point horror books?
No.
I'll lend you the book. So when I was a teenager, I used to babysit.
Right.
And you know what I'm like? I love my horrors.
Yeah.
And I love freaking myself out. from the school library, I borrowed the Point Horror, the babysitter book. Not a fun book to read when you're babysitting at the age of 13. But I also scared myself into, and because I took Scream with me once and sat there at the age of 14 watching Scream all by myself. And I was like, yes, this is definitely the right film I picked. Now that's my favourite slasher. So there are other variations of this story.
Right.
There's the clown doll statue version, was Legends. And a similar urban legend is the clown statue or the clown doll. A babysitter is unnerved by what she assumes is a horrendous life-size statue of a clown in the corner of the room.
And she says, can I cover the clown? And the woman goes, what clown?
The parent informs the babysitter they do not own a clown statue. The statue was really a murderer with dwarfism.
Oh, God, no, I've never heard that bit before. I've never... Why have it also had that detail?
Their dresses in a clown suit.
All I'm thinking of is, It the Clown, but really like Super Mario shrunk him. Oh.
What, like our youngest did for Halloween?
Yeah. No, I'm proper thinking of what's Tim Curry, is it?
Yeah.
That's his name. We give Tim Curry dwarf version dressed as it, sitting on a chair with a big grin on his face when the woman on the phone gets
Proper
told,
shit-eating grin.
but we don't have a clown statue, and he's there like, yes.
Due to the nature of this version, its own variants of the story have one or more of these details. The children mention the murderous small person stalking them either early or later in the story. The murderous small person pretends to be a clown doll instead of a clown statue. The babysitter gets slowly annoyed by the clown statue sometime later before calling the parents and getting their permission to cover the clown statue up. In some versions, the babysitter either asks the parents to switch rooms or she walks up and or down the stairs as a means to avoid seeing the statue. The babysitter uses a sheet and something else to cover up the clown statue. In some versions, the story takes place in Newport Beach, California. In a few versions, the intruder is a perverted homeless person or a vengeful ghost clown who died in the family's home instead of a murderer, small serial killer or a mentally ill patient. Well, there are a lot of films based on... There's Foster's Release that came out in 1971.
I thought you were going to say Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
The Severed Arm, 1973.
Right.
Black Christmas, 1974.
Right.
Oh, Angie de Night, 1974. I don't know what that is. I'm so sorry. The Sitter, 1977. When a Stranger Calls, 1979. When a Stranger Calls Back, 1993. Black Christmas, 2006. When a Stranger Calls, 2006. When a Killer Calls, 2006. They like the movies in the 2006. Amusement, 2008. And Black Christmas in 2019. We have seen all the Black Christmas films. I'm pretty sure we have all but the last one on DVD.
Yeah. You know, when you imagine these, the killer's inside the house, or the killer called you and told you, I'm on my way, or something like that.
Do you remember the killer called me and went, I'm on my way? I'd laugh.
I always imagine Ghostface, but I don't imagine Ghostface from Scream. I imagine
Scary Movie.
Ghostface from Scary Movie. The bit where he's hiding behind the curtain and he's like, you'll never guess where I am. You're behind the curtain. What? Oh, fuck. Okay, no peeking.
Well, when I was reading it, I remember we watched years ago, I think it was when we first started watching ghost stories in bed together. We watched a ghost story that was very similar to that clown one. And it was all on tape. Can you remember it?
No.
I think it started off with toys moving around. And then there was figures, it looked like a tall doll was standing there, but it'd be there 1 minute and gone the next.
No. The only horror movies I know are like Toys.
No, it wasn't a horror movie. It was those true spook stories that we watch on YouTube.
Oh no, I don't know them.
Can you not remember it?
No.
See, that one stuck with me because that one did look real. Ooh. So, as we previously mentioned, we are doing little branch off podcasts. So we do have Karma's a Witch, a Charms podcast, which will be coming out very, very shortly.
We've already got 3 episodes.
Well, we do. We have them recorded before we have the first episode to the actual podcast recorded. Check us out. And then we are going to do Squid Games. The first episode for all 3 podcasts will be out on the same day.
Yeah. So you'll have a choice of what to watch. If you're not into Squid Games, that's fine. If you're not into Charmed, that's fine. Hopefully what you've heard in this podcast has been enough to kind of pique your interest and give you a bit of an idea of the kind of content we're going to be creating that isn't directly related to an existing film or show or series.
And just to freak you out even more, I have got this topic of our next episode. I am going to be talking about the shocking murder of James Bulger. It's awful.
Well, we will be discussing that very soon. Hopefully you're doing your research. I don't know too much about that one, so that
Well, I'm not surprised when it happened a month before he was born.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully you have really enjoyed the podcast. Hopefully you found the urban legends we've discussed interesting. If you do have any suggestions for what you want us to talk about next, do let us know.
Please email us at badkarmapodcast@hotmail.com. So that's BADCARMAPODCAST@hotmail.com.
So if you've got anything you want us to talk about as a one-off, if you want us to discuss a certain topic for one of these podcasts,
we're more than happy to research and discuss it. And
always happy to learn something new.
we are also intrigued to see if you have any spooky, scary or funny stories that you want us to share on the podcast. We're more than happy to do that. We listen to a podcast called Morbid a lot. Get on that. It's amazing. It's True Murder podcast that I now listen to, and that's why we drink. And they do listeners' tales, and we like the thought of that. So we are hoping to do our own version of you guys writing in and telling us your stories.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.